Hello, friends. So this is Robert Busch. I'm one of the editors at Elephant Journal, and today I have the honor of speaking with our number one top writer, David Baumrind. And how are you today, David? Nice that you took the time.
I'm good, Robert. Thanks for the invite. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good, sitting in cold German winter. And how's the situation where you are?
Same, we're heading into winter. Today's a cold day, but it's a Sunday with coffee, so we're off to a good morning.
Beautiful. So how is that for you as a writer? As we're heading towards winter, does that inspire you to write even more than in summertime?
Um, I probably have a little bit more free time because in the summer I spend a lot of time on my bike and paddleboarding on the water.
Mhm.
So that can tend to cut into my writing time a little bit, and don't have those activities in the winter. So definitely think I get a little bit more into writing mode.
Nice. And yes, most of our readers know you as an author. I would like to ask you, because many people that try to get started themselves writing, like wonder how to do that. So how did you get started?
Well, for me, my journey at Elephant Journal, to Elephant actually, like a lot of people, I had a tough period in my life a few years ago. And that got me down the Google rabbit hole. No surprise to anybody who's been through tough times.
Mhm.
So I started Googling articles, self-helpy articles, and Elephant Journal kept coming up. So I became a reader and a subscriber first of Elephant. And then one day I saw, I think it was an email about the Elephant Academy,
Hmm.
which piqued my interest. It was just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's one of those things where I knew I had to do it. And I did not have a writing background before that.
Mhm.
So I'd really journaled was about the most of it. Yeah, I was doing a
When
lot
was
of
that?
that. So this was probably in the summer of 2018. So the academy was going to be starting in the fall.
Hmm.
And I said, you know what the hell? I'm going to do it. I really had no idea why,
Hmm.
but I knew I had to do it. And it really changed my life. It's one of those few decisions I can really look back in that had such a profound impact positively on my life.
Hmm.
So I joined the academy, and with the goal of maybe getting one article published. That's really all I wanted at the time. And my mentor was Shruti. I don't know if you know Shruti.
No,
Do you know
actually.
her? She's not
No.
really around anymore right now, but she was so good and really took me under her wing and inspired me. And, I started having some success, and I'm
And how
still
did that
writing.
feel for you? Like, it's always when you get your first article published. Can you remember that feeling?
Yes, it was very exciting. The only reason I'm hesitate that happened right around the death of my father was my first article being published. Actually, I think it
Mm.
was on the day of his funeral.
Ooh.
So it was a bittersweet day that I will never forget. But
Mhm.
definitely being published was special. And my first really big article that I guess hit,
Mhm.
I will also never forget that. We talk a lot about vulnerability,
Mhm.
and people always talk about writing vulnerably. So I had written an article. I have a background. Anybody who's read any of my articles know I have a background with codependency struggles and adult children of alcoholics. I'm
Mhm.
an adult child. So I started writing a little bit more about that as my career progressed.
Mhm.
So I wrote an article about codependency once, about non-attachment actually,
Mhm.
but from a codependent point of view. So I wrote it, and my mentor Shruti, she read it and she goes, "Yeah, it's not really grabbing me. There's a lot of
Mhm.
non-attachment articles. I don't get it." So I started just talking to her and said, "Yeah, but for me,
Mhm.
attachment is what I always wanted. I don't want non-attachment. That's why it's so difficult." She said, "Oh, that's really interesting. Why don't you write that?" I said, "You want me to write about that? Codependency?
Mhm.
Who's going to care about that?" So I wrote it,
Mhm.
but I still kept a kind of a nondescript title. I was
Mhm.
really hedging. I was willing to sort of only go so far.
Yeah.
And you know how it is as an editor, Robert, you get a good article with a title that isn't grabbing you. So my editor changed the title to A Codependence Journey to Non-Attachment, I believe.
Nice.
And I freaked out. So I had to pull over, you know, somebody texted me like, you better look at this article that's out with the title. And for about 5 minutes, I was just freaking out because I wasn't ready for that to be in the title. I thought I was, you know,
Mhm.
I thought I was really working on vulnerability, and then that happened. So I'm like, do I tell them to take it down? Do I leave the country? People at
Mhm.
work, all these things just going through my head. And then I just took a breath and I said, you know, if I really believe the stuff I'm working on, and if I really believe on trying to be a benefit and writing vulnerably, it's just going to have to be okay. So I left it. And then that one just took off. Like I was so shocked, and so many heartfelt comments from people saying, you know, that these could be my words. This has really moved me and touched me. And I was just blown away, and I learned a lot. You know, I really learned a lot about writing vulnerably from that. You know, from that
And
experience.
I think that's a very interesting aspect, as you say, you first jumped in as someone that was Googling, finding elephant journal, reading for your own healing, and then you write
Hmm.
something. And then do you have the feeling that you also cause healing in other people with what you write? Is that something you have in mind when you write?
Yes, yes, and that's happened, and really, that's why I write. It's, you know, I've gotten such an opportunity here that I'll be forever grateful.
Hmm.
And I want to help other people, you know, as far as writing to be a benefit, that's all I want to do. That's pretty much my dream.
Hmm.
So, and I've gotten so many comments on articles and also privately of people that have been helped and moved and telling me that maybe they started therapy after a therapy article or
Hmm.
went to really start to work on themselves, and very humbling comments that I'm appreciative. But that's, you know, that's why I do it.
Hmm.
And connect, and it's about connection and connecting with, you know, the people that are reading my work.
Hmm.
And for somebody to say, because you think about it, we want to connect, right? We want to
Yeah.
write vulnerably, be a benefit, connect. But how do we do that? People ask me, like, how do we
Hmm.
connect? And the best way I know, for me, when somebody writes me back, and this has happened a lot, and they say, your words could be my words. You know, what you're writing is exactly what I'm feeling.
Hmm.
They don't know me, you know, and they don't know the details really of my story. So what I really learned is that we connect through writing about our vulnerable emotions. That's how we connect with our readers. It's not the details. I mean, details are nice writing sometimes, but you know, it's not the white painted floor. It's not
Hmm.
my red hutch in my dark wood kitchen that connects me to the readers.
Yeah.
You know, I can talk about feeling empty and lost and shame and all of those types of things. And it's the same for me as a reader. You know, I
Yeah.
can read about somebody's journey and what they're really risking emotionally in the writing, and I can say, wow, I know exactly what that feels like.
Hmm.
So it's the details about the emotions, I think, that for me anyway, that help connect me with the readers. And if I can be a benefit, that's what I want it to be all about.
Man, that's beautifully said. And it's like as if we timed it like for the time we set ourselves. So please, everyone, check out David's latest articles. We can leave them in the comments underneath this video. And I want to thank you a lot for taking the time this
Sure.
Sunday. And I hope
I
this interview
appreciate it.
will be of benefit to many. So thank
I
you
hope
very
so
much.
too. And also on social media, David Baumrind Writer. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. My article links are usually there too. So,
Beautiful. Thank you very
all right.
much. And I hope
Thanks,
you have a
Robert.
beautiful Sunday.
You too. Take care, everybody.